Good afternoon everyone, welcome back. Today I want to do a restoration on an old watch that I found. I found two old watches actually. One's got a broken strap and this one here is an old Casio watch with a no strap and it's a bit dirty. So I want to clean it up. If it works, we'll try it with a battery and see how we go. It is a goldy coloured W95 or 96, I think. So first thing to do, we'll give it a wash. Just rinse a lot of that mud off it, and here we go. Here's the case back. Yeah, it's a W96H digital watch. So we'll take you through the entire process as best I can, and you can see exactly what I'm going to do. It may not work. There are many ways to do this to restore an old digital watch, and this is the way that I am going to do it. So I'm just going to dry it off with the towel here, just to get some of that moisture off, and we can have a good look at the case and the plastic screen. As you can see, there's got a few scratches in it for sure. On the light, you can see, if we go a bit closer, you can see it's got a few scratches and there's a fair bit of damage around there. So if the watch works with a battery, then I'll certainly go ahead and try to clean that up a little bit. And you can see there it takes one of those, looks like a screw down strap, a screw bar. So I've actually got a strap for it off another watch that is dead. So let's have a look in the light. You can see the condition. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of scratches on the surface there. And I think that case is faded too. It was like a goldy colour, but I think it's faded somewhat. So I've never had one of these watches, these W96s, so it'd be interesting. Okay, so let's pull it apart. Got our screwdriver, 4 screws, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Take the case back off, and I might fast forward through this part so you're not having to. There we go. Let's quickly do this. 100 miles an hour, and there it goes. There's the case back off, and the O-ring is on the case back. I have to make sure that stays intact. And let's pop a battery in there. It looks like this is broken, but I've got a battery. I think it's a 2016 or a 2030, 22. Let's have a closer look. 2025. There we go, and that's gonna slip straight in there, hopefully, and we will see the moment of truth whether this watch is going to work or not. Now, looks like that clip is bent, so if we I'll zoom in, I'll get a little tool here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The locking clip there, sometimes you need to push that down a little bit, just ever so slightly, just so it locks in tightly in place, because they do bend. So I will attempt to do that right now. So the battery cradle locks into place like so, and there we have it. Beautiful. Oh, and it's alive. Look at that. Fantastic. Thought it might be. Casios are very resilient, and I guess this watch is not that old. It might be maybe 10-15 years old, I'm guessing. Oh, light works too. Beautiful. Okay, so it looks like we've got a working module. Best to check your module first, make sure it is working, and now we can go ahead and clean it up a little bit. Put a strap on, see if we can polish out most of those scratches, and let's pop that back on. Again, I think I want to fast forward through all this so you're not having to wait for me to tighten all the screws. And there we go. Back to normal speed. Beautiful. So I'm quite happy with that. I just want to now have a close look. Let's have a close look and assess the damage on the screen. And it will give us also a good baseline comparison if I do decide to go ahead and give it a full polish. We can see how it looks beforehand and afterwards. So yeah, we're going to use, there we go, you can see it very clearly there with all the scratches. It's not too bad, but it certainly does look worn. So I've got a bowl of water here and some 600 grit sandpaper. A little bit of water, start rubbing the surface of the crystal, the plastic crystal, just gently. I know a lot of you might be thinking, why don't you just use Polywatch? I've used Polywatch before, but this is so much faster because you're basically taking a layer of that acrylic off the face, and it is a much quicker way to do it, in my opinion. So 600 grit, just very lightly. It's quite abrasive for this type of crystal, and you can see it's already fogging up there. It's already starting to scratch the face up nicely, which is what I'm looking for. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and jump up to 1200 grit wet and dry sandpaper, and there we go, P1200. So I'll grab some of this. Just a little bit of water. I use the water just to keep the surface cool so it doesn't heat up too much with the friction. So away we go with the 1200 grit sandpaper on the surface of this Casio watch. And we'll go in one direction and then we'll go in the other direction just so we can have some level of continuity with the surface. So I don't want it to be too inconsistent. There we go, you can see it's starting to do its magic. A little bit more water, and I think it's only not even a half a minute, 1 minute. Very quick and easy this is why I think this is a good way to do it. Okay, so let's give that a dry off and have a little look. See how our progress is going. And there we go. This is what I'm looking for. This effect right here. Just a little bit of moisture there though, so I might just dry it off a little bit more, and then I'm going to jump up to 3000 grit sandpaper just to remove some of the scratches that I made with the 1200 grit. It's all very easy. All of these things are easy to obtain. Sandpaper you can get at your local Walmart or hardware store or Bunnings. There we go. Have a close look. Yep, that's beautiful. That's what I was hoping for. Nice hazy effect. So now I'm going to go up to 3000. Now this is going to clear up the screen a little bit. It's going to bring us closer to the end result, to where I want to be. So again, just a little bit of water, just to keep the surface cool so it doesn't overheat. And away we go, left to right, up and down, around and around we go. Beautiful. Give that a little bit of a rub there for a little while. You can start to feel that the sandpaper is clogging up, so you just dip it in a bit of water there just to clean out the paper, and keep on going. Don't press. I'm not pressing too hard on this. There's no need to put a whole lot of pressure because it is acrylic, and acrylic is very soft and easy to work with. We're not working with glass here, we're working with plastic, so it's very easy to work with when it comes to this type of thing. I just find this is the best way, that I believe is the best way for me to do it. And around we go. And what I might do now is just dry it off and have another look. I'm going to be careful. I should have probably taped up the body of the watch so I'm not scratching the gold parts, but I forgot to do that, so never mind. Get a little bit more water on. Let's dry that off and let's have a bit of a look. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's it. That's not it, but that's the sanding finished. Let's have a look. I want to get a bit closer and have a good look at that if we can. Just make sure it's nice and dry, and we'll have a closer look. Yeah, see? It's starting to clear up a little bit, and that's about where I want to be before I hit it with some plastic polish. Now at this stage, you can use Polywatch if you want, but I find it's quite expensive for such a tiny little tube. So what I do instead, I'll just give it one more little going over with the 3000 grit sandpaper, just to make sure that I haven't missed any fine scratches on the crystal. Just a little bit like that. Takes a little bit of patience, but I think the end result should be a lot better than what it was. So yeah, what we're going to do next is polish the acrylic. So like I said, you can use Polywatch. I've used it before, but I find it's expensive. So I just use this tube of, or this bottle, should I say, of plastic polish. And I'll show you in a sec. Just want to get that nice and dry. Let's take our time. Try and be as thorough as possible. There we go. That's pretty good. So this is your Meguiar's, this plastic polish for your headlights on your car. That's not a good idea. I think I better perhaps use a cloth. Put it on the cloth and then apply it. Yeah, this is just a normal plastic polish that you can get at any auto parts store. It lasts a very long time, so you don't have to use very much. So I'll put that on my little polishing cloth like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And away we go. Now we're going to give this a good little rub. There we go. Around and around and around. Give that a nice little old polish. Fast forward it through. Fast forward the video a little bit. And there we go. Isn't that better? You can see the reflection now quite clear. We'll get a bit closer on that. There we go. How about that? That's a little bit better, I think. It certainly is a lot clearer than what it was. There's a photo of the before shot with all the scratches and the damage, and now it's looking pretty good, in my opinion. Well, it's a lot better than what it was. There is one little scratch I can still see on the top right hand corner, but I'm not too concerned. Just up there. I'm not too concerned because it's very fine. It's a very fine scratch, so I'm quite happy with that. That came out good. A little bit of a light sand with some fine sandpaper, keeping the surface cool, and then a nice polish. And here's the strap. Now this has 4 screws. It's a screw down resin strap, this one. So I'm going to go ahead and most likely fast forward through this, speed up the video through this as well, so you're not having to watch me fumble with my fingers trying to do this the easy way. There we go. It just slips into place, and then 4 screws either side will hold the watch in place. So I'll just pop that in there, and then we'll have a wrist shot. We'll do some sizes. We'll have a look at some of the features of the watch as well before we finish up for the day. And let's get that in place. And there it is, all done. Beautiful. So that is the end result, which looks good. Okay, let's have a look at some of the features on this watch. There's an alarm, a multifunction alarm. We've got a chronograph stopwatch, dual time, alternate time zone, and of course you're back to the home time screen. There's your backlight. It's an LED backlight, a nice green color, and that's it. Pretty basic watch, but it's got a nice big display. On my wrist it looks okay, 7.5 inch wrist. Let's just measure it quickly, and it looks like it's coming in at 35 millimeters roughly, and it's a little bit taller at 40 millimeters on the lug to lug. Well, that's it for today. That's the Casio W96 and I just gave it a little bit of a polish and fixed it up with a new battery, and now it's working, and I'm quite proud of that because I think it came out reasonably good. It's not perfect, and I am in no way any type of expert on this sort of thing, but it is fun to achieve a good result. Well, that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching, and you have a good day, and we'll see you with another watch review soon. Bye for now.